You check your stone square. Your stone should be square. Off the top bed, that's the top bed. That's the top bed, that's the bottom bed. Alright? This is going to be my face here. So I'll check there, check that that's square, and I'll check here, check that that's square. So that sort of looks all pretty square to me. So what I'm going to do now is I need to know where this chamfer is going to go. Right? I'm going to use this side for the face, I think. A minute. Right, that's going to be my face. I've also got to check, we've got no defects in it. I can already see. If you look here, you can already see a bit of a crick in it. So you've got to be careful. If you've got a stone like that and you're working it in the workplace, you'll want to check with your foreman or your supervisor the best way to get around it. If you can use that stone, you can use it, and the best way to mark it out. If not, you have to get a new stone cut. If it's going to be really bad, be a new stone. Sometimes you may get away with it. I'll use this as my face. So my bed mould now has got all the information on there where I've got to mark my section out. My section show me the face and where it's clean. Okay. I'm going to mark my section on the front. I'll just use the straight edge of a square just to, so that just slides on the front of the section. So you know that it's right, and so that it's touching there on top, that ensures that your section's marked out square. Okay, I can now, I will just scribe this in on that end. Got it scribed in on that end, scribe it in lightly, mark it out. My stone pencil, make sure you use the 10H pencil that we've got rather than a drawing pencil for marking this out, and do the same again, mark it on this end. Mark the top line out and the bottom line out with a pencil. Don't mark it out with a scriber. Your scriber can sink down into your stone, and when you go to tool it off the scriber line, you take it right down to the scriber line, you can take your chamfer under the line. So putting your chamfer under. Okay, so just use the top and bottom lines, mark it on the pencil. I've got that marked out straight through. I'll be able to mark on my ashlar stop now. I've got my points of my bed mould. I can use my section to give me the width, to mark it out either side. Square will join all my lines up all the way around the stone. So you're not measuring round every time and marking it round. Your square can do all your work. And on this end, where the return and break is, I've got my point for square a line down from the top bed. I can mark face of my section on that square line and line it up to the top, so that's ensuring that my section is applied square and not twisted. Line it up with the lines that I've marked on. We have the chamfer project marked out, and just as a little check, I can apply my bed mould on top of my stone just to check that all the points are accurately and correct, and they all look lined up to me. What I can do is, with Portland, it's always pitch it. Okay, so we all know about the picture. Use the picture on a flat surface, and we line the picture up with our stone, so this is actually flat on the surface we want to pitch. With the chamfer, the first pitch I would do, I would line my picture up, and if you have a look at there, I've more or less got the picture just hanging over the edge a little tiny bit. That will stop it pitching off down over the face. So I can just pitch it one way. What I would suggest is anyone move out the way a little bit in case the pitch hits them. And if you get a good pitch, you should be able to pitch it more or less most of the way across the stone. The pitch in this end now, that should join up the pitch. Okay, so I've got nearly got rid of a lot of waste there. I can pitch even closer to the line, so I'm going to do some two pitches, overhanging the edge so it doesn't pitch under, and then the last little piece there. Always clean the picture off each time. So you've got a clean edge for hitting it with. So by looking at that, I've pitched off quite a bit, haven't I? You've got rid of a lot of your waste. That's the idea of the picture. And it's like working a flat surface again now, but on an angle. So it's get your drafts in, and if you've got a lot to punch off, you can punch it off, claw it off, and then finish it off with a poster. So I'm just going to go along and get my draft in. I've got a line going across the top bed, a line coming down on this clean end. So my chisel is going to be line up with the angle that way, line up with the angle go down that way. And just see, I can just ease it in slightly to get the correct angle. And I'm just getting a rough draft in first of all. Stop so far from the end so I don't knock a big corner off. And then come up from the bottom exactly the same way when coming up from the bottom. You'll notice I'm now using the chisel and my body at a different angle, which is something which you're going to have to get used to. If this was a stone on my banker and it weighed a ton, I wouldn't be able to twist it up and move it around to suit. I'd have to get used to working on an angle. Had a good pitch, you will have comparatively a little amount to punch off. What I'm now going to do is just go around and get the drafts in accurately. I've got that more or less in quite accurate now, and what I'm going to do now is finish it off with a claw. Get rid of the waste with a claw. Last bit, just going to tap it down from the top so it doesn't pluck out. Just make sure you've got rid of any high bumps on there. You can check it with a straight edge. I'll just check that I've got no sort of high bumps there, and that looks pretty much okay to me. Ready to finish it off with the poster. So I've got my draught in. Once I've got that first initial bit in, I can work between these two lines using the poster straight rather than on an angle like we did on a flat surface. last little bit, I'll just take off angles to stop it plucking out. To check it, same again as your flat surface, use the straight edge. It's a little bit of black crayon showing a couple of high spots which we can take down. You can just go over it with a little light dusting, get rid of any more bumps on there. One way of checking that it is actually accurate is you put your section on the end again and you slide this across, and if you can hear it, can you hear it? Actually touching your section, then you know that it's correct. So that should be straight along that way. You could also use your section to check that it's flat this way as well as being flat across the face. It's got to be flat on the angle as well. So I ought to be able to put my section on there without it rocking, with no bumps in the middle. And that should be flat as well. Okay. And then you can just give it a little tidy up. Make sure you're happy with the tooling, and that'll be your chamfer finished.